Hi everyone, my name is Ananya Mukherjee and I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all my listeners out there to this very first session of storytelling, Shuddh Shakahari Desi on Be Khush. Like a dog sniffs a bone, I sniff stories. So my trade as a journalist in the past has trained my nose to sniff news. I'm not necessarily looking for a story, but I always find one. And in this storytelling session, what I'll attempt is to bring some of those stories to you. In my travels in, say, dingy airports and plush lounges, I actually see stories. I hear them in luxurious hotel washrooms, in leftover conversations over a mug of hot chocolate, prose, poetry, anecdotes. I feel them all spontaneously kind of overflowing around me, wavelengths generated by complete strangers sometimes, co created, say, by imagery and sounds of emotions like love, surprise, hope, disapprovals, arguments. So sometimes just these little things that are left around us tell us a story. Could be a receipt, tucked somewhere between the sofa, or a little cigarette butt, or the burnt corner of a curtain, or say pieces of baggage tags. So every time I not necessarily search them, but I find them. And every time I find them, I think of a story. So I get a story. Feel that there is something happening around me. Then these stories eventually become yours and mine, and I put them in my jhola or jhuli and then bring them across to you. So I'm going to bring to you today what I call lounge stories. So I spent a considerable time of my life in airport lounges. I travel quite a bit for my work. And I think they're the best places for eavesdropping and finding stories. So I'm going to read 3 lounge stories to you today, and I'm going to read them out to you. Feel free to add in your comments and likes and let me know what you think of them. They are all 3 different moods, but found in airport lounges across the world. So this first one was in Singapore, and this is very recent. This is very contemporary, and I think some of you will realize how travels have become really difficult for all of us. I always feel that airports are the best places in the world for eavesdroppers and storytellers such as me. And arrival halls are my favorite spots because they're the happiest place on earth. I always find my fairy tales there. So this one, hear me out. A boy of barely 3 is waiting with his mum for his dad. I love his Mickey Mouse shorts and red striped tees. From the overheard conversation, I pick up that his name is George and daddy has been away from home for a while. The pickup is meant to be a surprise. Now the conversation between the mother and the son. And I'm just standing next to them so I can hear them. Do you see daddy? The mother probes. No, he says, turning his sweet rosy lips into a pout. I almost say "oh," but hold back. He gets back to swinging on the bar outside the arrival hall. Can you recognize him if you see him? Yes, I can recognize daddy, he says confidently. What if daddy has changed? His mother teases. No, he hasn't. He dismisses her impatiently. What if he has? Why would daddy change? He questions back. What if he's wearing a mask? No, why would daddy wear a mask? Looking at his blind faith that nothing good has come in between him and his memory of daddy from the time he left, and that the latter is unchangeable, I am at this point turning into a fan. I love the way he challenges his mum back with a question. She's amused too, but continues. Okay, George. Now, what if Daddy has wings? His little blue eyes light up, and I catch him looking at his mum and blinking. I can spot wonder, magic, and bewilderment in them now. Daddy has wings? By now, the unaltered Daddy, and I must add, he looks like any other tired business traveler, walks out pushing a trolley through the glass door. Poor guy looks tired. He really does. I hear a loud, "Daddy!" as tiny toes slip under the bars that divide the space between travelers and those waiting to pick up. Daddy, pleasantly surprised, scoops him up and hugs little Georgie. His energy switches from 3 to 10 in a second. He looks like another man. The mum gets her kisses too, even as she mumbles, "Surprise!" and the happy trio wheel their way out. They look beautiful, and they leave me smiling. I don't know if Daddy has wings, but I think I just saw his cape. To all the fathers out there for this month, I know it is Father's Day, so I thought I would dedicate my first story to the fathers who are always wearing a cape, an invisible cape that's unseen by the rest of the world. Well done to all of you, and keep being fantastic super dads as you are. You don't need a cape, actually. You don't need a Superman tag. You already are one. Here's the next one, and this is particularly interesting and relevant in today's time where we are seeing so much of marginalization and xenophobia and partitions happening, separators in every crossing. At every crossing in our life, we get to see so many separators. You and I and them. So the feeling of we and us is slowly almost disappearing from the face of earth. And we all know we are fighting a huge battle against racism, against religion, marginalizing and dividing people. It's a very divisive world. And this one in particular is very relevant to that message. So I was in Heathrow Airport, and there was a beautiful old lady sitting next to me in the lounge, and we struck a conversation. I was born in Kanpur, India. You know Uttar Pradesh? My father was an Indian engineer in the ordnance factory. My father was from Delhi and mother from Shahjahanpur. I was only 3, so my memories are faded. All I remember is that one day we were all packing and leaving India. I did not understand what was happening. My country was divided. We settled in Peshawar. Suddenly, I became a Pakistani. Then again, when I was doing my post-graduation, my country was divided. My Bengali-speaking countrymen were now another country. Now I live in Karachi for many years since my marriage. My children are all well settled, doctors, engineers, and they live outside of Pakistan. My grandchildren, they're global citizens. My country has 4 provinces, and I still cannot understand where I belong. I won't reveal her name or identity. I spent an hour chatting with her at the London Heathrow Airport, as I said, and she was elated that I spoke Urdu. So I said, "Hindi, auntie." And she corrected me. "Zuban to ek hi hai." I told her I wanted to visit Lahore someday to see Manto's home. She asked me about sweets from Calcutta. She didn't say Kolkata. I didn't have the heart to correct her or to interfere with her memories. Yes, while this best homecoming treat was to walk straight into an India-Pakistan match and watch my country win, I learnt in the end, जुबां एक ही है. बस चंद अल्फाज अलग होने से इतिहास और इंसानियत का बंटवारा नहीं होता. For those of you who don't speak Hindi, this actually means that the language is the same. The speech is the same. The emotions are the same. Just because you have a variation in a few syllables or a few alphabets and letters here and there, it doesn't change the bonding of humanity and the background of our common history. So that's what it means. So it was a beautiful feeling when she said, "Zuban to ek hi hai," and I will always remember it. And finally, the last one for today, and I know we've been speaking for a while, and this is in Kolkata. This is my hometown, and I was in Kolkata a couple of months back. On my last trip to Kolkata, there was a long sneaking queue, and this is just before Christmas. People were all traveling, and there was a very cute newly married couple in front of me, and they were just right in front of me in the queue, and all the Southeast Asian flights were queuing up together for security check, as you know. So I figured out they were going to Bangkok. She was absolutely right from the Shadi Ka Mandap, and she was with her husband. And the lady was very pretty. She's very beautifully dressed with all the mehendi and everything around her. And this is a conversation, a very intimate conversation, very sweet conversation happening right in front of me, and I couldn't but help eavesdrop. A newly married couple is standing in front of me in the immigration queue. From the henna in her hands and feet and the diamonds sparkling on her, I can conclude that the newly acquired relationship status is barely a week old. The gold diamond bridal facial is still showing its effects. She's beaming. The husband is drooling over his pretty wife, finding excuses to touch her in an overcrowded airport. They're off to Bangkok on their honeymoon. I mentally add Pattaya to that list and imagine her chirping in a printed bikini and sarong, never to be worn again, back in the conservative Marwari Sasural in Kolkata, with the Mangalsutra and Nakshatra diamonds flashing against the beach sun. To pass time, the husband plays a game. He pulls out photographs of their reception on Facebook and asks her to identify the relatives. Tough job, huh? ये बड़ी बुआ की छोटी लड़की है ना? Correct. नाम बताओ. ईशानी? Wrong. ईशाना. ये कैसा नाम है? बस है तो है. अब ये देखो. ये अलवर वाले चाचा जी हैं. नाम बोलो. कुछ राम समथिंग था. राम कमल. तुम फिर फेल. किसी का नाम याद नहीं. ये आपके घर में सबके नाम इतने अजीब क्यों हैं? Now she tests him on something. I can't exactly hear what, just the conditions she keeps. अगर हार गए तो 3 बार बोलोगे. तुम सही हो, तुम सही हो, तुम सही हो. The husband nods with an "at your service, ma'am" grin. I smile and turn away. ये तो सिर्फ शुरुआत है बेटा. आदत डाल ले. गृहस्थी चलानी है तो पूरी जिंदगी बस यही बोलना है. तुम सही हो, तुम सही हो, तुम सही हो. See you later in yet another Bikush session. Stay tuned and do let me know how you enjoyed this conversation. Thank you.